So, like most people, I'm upset hearing all this bad news. Kids killing kids. A 14-year-old boy stabbed to death in front of his mother. When we hear this news, people are rushing to blame others. What is it about the parents of those kids who did that stabbing? What is it about the parents of the kids whose kids are shooting up Toronto? What is it about these parents? What is it about the justice system? This rush to blame others perpetuates the very problems we're facing. It's not about somebody else. It's about us. It's about the society we've created. We're in a society where so many persons, whether it's an intact or separated parents, they're working 2, 3 jobs just to make ends meet. We're in a society where you can't have a living wage. How do people expect parents to be available for kids? They're not. And it's not about being a bad parent. As a matter of fact, these are good parents trying to put food on the table, for crying out loud. And then there's our school system. So some folks are out blaming the teachers or the educational assistants or the other education workers. They're doing what they can in overcrowded classrooms where when a child goes out of control, can't manage themselves. And by the way, that's not necessarily a bad child. That may be a child with autism who can't take the stimulation, who can't self-regulate as a result of developmental issues. But then the whole classroom gets evacuated, and it's not because that child is inherently bad. It's there aren't enough supports. Please quit blaming everyone. Quit finding a target to unleash your upset about these horrific events. If you need a target, look within. Ask yourself, how are you supporting others? How are you voting? Have you helped someone today? Have you made a phone call to someone you know might be going through a distressing time? Have you shared a meal? What can you do to help out? We as a society must make these differences. I'm tired of being painted as a bleeding heart snowflake. Please, I'd rather be a bleeding heart snowflake than a cold-hearted right-winger. There I go. I'm calling names, and I shouldn't do that either. This binary, it's getting us into trouble. When I look at what's posted on the internet, oh my goodness, when you can't argue against the argument, people disparage the messenger. That's got to stop. That's got to stop. If we want to improve what's going on in society today, we don't just target one single group. We look within and say, how can I make a difference? What am I bringing to society? How does my attitude facilitate inclusion, compassion? Who have I helped today? This is a personal responsibility. Now, some of you may think, well, I'm just one little person, what influence? You have influence. You do. You do. You do. Pick up the phone, call a friend. How are you doing? You see somebody struggling at a checkout counter, maybe their kid is, having a meltdown. Can I help you? Rather than pointing fingers and being sarcastic or demeaning or posting somebody at their worst on your Facebook page. With that, we just perpetuate anger, hate. all the things that are giving rise to the very problems from which we seek relief. Please, just, it sounds trite, be kind. With your own children, they may be missing you, quite frankly. We are so harried, so busy. Sit down with your kids and look and say, I miss you. Are you missing me? Do you want to do something? The most simple of intervention. Are you missing me? Want to go out for a donut? All of a sudden, you reestablish that relationship. All of a sudden, you're more important. All of a sudden, you become more significant than the negative influence of their peers. This is how we're going to change all of this around. Not by finger wagging, pointing, blaming. All of this will change when we, as a society, take on our individual responsibility to simply be decent.